My heart is breaking and there's no mistaking why. Man, I just want to cry out. I mean, we claim to be Christians, but we're living like everyone is so no one listens. And they die. Eternally and internally. I just want to scream, what are you doing? You're screwing it up. But actually, all my frustration is at myself because I feel like I'm the guiltiest of them all. And when I took that fall, it was crushing. I put God on the shelf. And I would say I was saved, but I was still enslaved to me and sin. Again and again I would sin and sin in my sins. But man, I wanted to be a real Christian, not just some criticizing hypocrite. So I dove into the Bible for it. The answer, and every word was emotion towards my emotions. The bitter beauty in it made me see my growing cancer. I learned what I was, and I could see. I was just another Pharisee saying, look at me, all high and mighty. And when I realized that, my eyes went back to John 15, and I may have only been a teen, but it was my awakening, because in verse 17 was my failure. Jesus' commandment to love each other, not just your brother, but your neighbor too. And yes, even those who persecute you, your enemy, the entity of the command left me with shaking hands. But going on, I was shaken to the core. That type of love isn't enough for the world to accept you. It actually means get ready for the worst possible war. Because as they hated him first, they will also hate us. Man, this thing with Jesus, it seems backwards. So I did some digging as if I was one of them pastors preparing a sermon. I even read some C.S. Lewis and some Spurgeon, and this is what I'm learning. Sola Gracia. We are saved by grace and grace alone. Only the one on the throne can save. I can't earn it or work for it. So what did that do to my old view? It burned it to the ground. 'Cause now I know I can't be good enough. Tough luck. But it is just. And I saw something. To be Christian is to be different. Because we're on this mission of man fishing like Peter. The book of James shows us God isn't playing any games. In chapter 2, he basically says, faith without works is dead, and so are you. Even if you say you believe the truth. Because even the demons agree, and they know who God is, and they shudder at the thought of him. And here I am saying I'm a Christian who worships him, and I'm not even in that much awe of him. Outdone by a demon, wow. Or should I say ow? Or should I ask how? How can I be free? How can I be free from this gold cow I made? Because I have been a rotten tree, and I've done everything for the sake of me, no matter what name I said it was for. But at least God showed me I was stumbling, and allowed me through a humbling time. I had been so focused on making it that I had been breaking it, breaking God's heart, because I was a perfect example of the verses found, not in Luke, John, or Mark, but in Matthew 7:22 and 23. I did nothing for the king but for me, and I never went through the change that should estrange us from the rest, make us seem deranged, the world's best, and arrange a place in heaven for us. Want to learn what it is? Then listen to this. We can't earn bliss. It's all from grace. We can't just believe. Otherwise, we'd be following the demons. We'd be spitting in his face. We have to love him and not loathe him. And accept the gift. And once you have had a taste of Christ, and once you've realized the price of your sin, and you've seen the Son, you'll no longer have that desire for them. You will still fail, but the sin will be bitter, and you won't wail for attention or have your faith on your sleeve. It won't be a look at me situation. God's will be your new limitation, and you will wail to see the souls of the lost saved. And you will do it because you can see clearly through the cost paid by the blood, and of the love of Christ will pulse through you. And that is the change. You will love. You will spiritually fight through with hospitality and morality and hospitality. And with that love the rest follows, taming the tongue, submitting to God and all else, as the Bible says. If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries, and have all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can shake and move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship so that I may boast, but do not have love, I have gained nothing. The change is you will have love. First, you will love God, and through him you will love others, and you will see the world in a new way. You will not focus on yourself. You will not focus on saving yourself. Do not make the mistake I made. Do not think you can find a way. The only way to be saved is through grace. And the only change there is a new heart.